our region's greatest asset that has been allowed to, well, sputter.
Yeah, tonight there's an immense push to get Lambert Airport more than a makeover, and it could bring all of us billions of dollars and even thousands of jobs. First Alert 4's Nathan Vickers is following the coalition aiming to take Lambert Airport far and wide. And Nathan, we're talking international ambitions here.
We really are. And right now, we're in Terminal 1 in Lambert International Airport. It's going on 90 years old. Terminal 2 is 25 years old. So a lot of the airlines and other companies connected to the airport have been pushing for some kind of a new facility, one that they say could make this airport an international contender. There are many things passengers appreciate about Lambert.
As far as the layout upstairs goes, where the check-in area is, I think it's totally fine.
I think it's easier to navigate.
Very quick to get to the terminals.
But some also see the airport's size and age holding it back.
Worn down and out of date would be, and lack of investment.
A lot of traffic issues in departures and arrivals areas.
Not enough space.
Discussions to update Lambert's master plan and to build a new $3 billion single terminal have picked up steam in the last few months.
I hope people see this as another symbol of confidence, not about where this region has been, but about where this region is going.
Jason Hall, the CEO of Greater STL, says a new terminal and investments by Boeing could bring $5 billion in revenue and 30,000 new jobs to the region by 2032. He says a new facility would expand St. Louis's worldwide reach for travel and commerce.
Look around at our peers that have been growing much faster than us over the last several decades. They've all reinvested significantly in their airport because they know it is the global connection for global cities around the world.
The project would not require a local tax, funded instead through private investment. Hall says Greater STL is also going after federal grants.
This is a very unique opportunity. There are often not grant infrastructure dollars available to do new terminals. They exist now. Once in a generation opportunity. We're going to pursue that very aggressively.
Some passengers like the idea of expanding.
That might make it more attractive just to bring in more airlines to try and make it at least a hub for them to bring passengers in.
Others worry the single terminal plan may be too much, too fast.
Might be more efficient and effective to spend the money to upgrade the facility we have now.
But they too see opportunity.
Hopefully people will really consider what the impact is to the city and to the people's lives who are traveling.
Well, Greater STL and the other business interests in this hope that we can get a plan together and break ground on an airport by 2026. Coming up later at 6:30, we'll talk more about some of the opportunities an upgraded airport could bring, as well as some of the additional potential costs for your plane ticket. Reporting live, Nathan Vickers, First Alert 4.
Looking forward to that in-depth conversation at 6:30. Nathan, thank you.